So the very last thing we're going to do to this vector graphic, this vector art right here, we've got all this set up, and what we want to do, this will be our end result. So we've got the shield here in the middle. We'll go ahead and change the text. We'll take the line, duplicate it over, and apply this color styling to it, and create our little word down here, which, if I am correct, means Lohengrin Island, and then add this little jobby right down there. So first things first, this line. Right now this line is only a path, and it's not a shape. It doesn't have, like, it doesn't exist yet in the raster world. So I'll stick with solid color, and go ahead and just select any color right now, that's fine. What I want to do is assign it, we'll go with this color right here. Alright, so we've now got this first line, and it is its own shape. Now the easiest way to make the very next line, there's a few ways you can do this. If you only want to make the line once more and never have to deal with it again, you can select the line over here under Path Selection, Control C, and then you can Control V the line right in place, and under Edit, Transform Path, flip horizontal, and then move the line out this way. However, if you did want to use the line again, maybe in other places, or whatever shape that you have created, you can come up to Edit and define a custom shape. And this we will stick with line as the custom shape. Click OK. And now, instead of having to go through the paths, I can click on this button right here and come up to the Shapes window, and right down here at the bottom I've now got Lion. So I will select Lion, and let me set my guide so that they're exactly the same size. And starting right over here, holding down Shift to keep the aspect ratio. And undo that and turn back shapes on, or turn shapes back on. Notice how I have a style selected over here. And now we have our other line. Now it's flipped. And what took 18 minutes before now took about a minute. Control semicolon will turn those guides off. So I've got my two lines, and things aren't quite centered. I'll take these lines and move them right here to the back. And then take this whole shield section and center it between these two. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, hey, well, that gray area is not so supposed to be there. Why is it? And as I come down in here and have a look, so it's nothing being affected by this banner area, so I'll come down to this shield area, and I look around and I say, oh, right here, this gradient adjustment layer that I have selected, if you take a look, in this little area right here, you see that little white strip, which should be black. So I'll Alt backspace, fill that right back up. And if you move it around, it doesn't, oh, there we go. But what we need to do, it's a little bit centered off to the right now, so just move it back. We'll have to go back and fix that again. There we are. Making sure that's locked. Alright, that is one centered shield. So this text in here, I don't want it to be eclipsed or occluded by the lines. So I'll come back to direct selection and making sure that my icon gets a little diamond right there. I'll bring this in about right there. And now I see that my font might be a little bit too large, so I'll change the font down to probably 17. Probably have to make it 16 because I'm also going to scoot in the left half. There we are. So that's nice and centered. So now to get these two lines to have the diagonal color scheme, what I will do is select this line, come over here to, let me turn this up so you can see what's at the bottom. Come over here to gradient overlay. And click on this, and from earlier I went ahead and saved out that gradient, but I'll start it from fresh. So okay, so I've got this, and I'll change my colors. So this color will have it be blue, and this color will be the yellow. Now there's a lot of blending going on, which I don't want, so I'll set the location. Right now the location's at 100%. As we scoot this down, we see that the location lessens. So I'll set 50% for the yellow and 50% for the blue. And now we've got a nice strong line right there. And I'll go ahead and set the angle to 45. Now the other thing to select right here, go ahead and change this yellow color. Oh, cancel that. Probably make this just a little bit more orange. Now the other thing too that I created was I created a stroke that goes around the whole thing. Obviously red is not going to work, and neither will solid blue nor solid yellow. So instead of the fill type set to color, I will set the fill type to gradient. And I'll just select this because I created it from before, which is exactly the same gradient. And I will set the angle once again to 45. So now I have that one line complete. Now if I right mouse click, I can copy this layer style, paste it right here, and all I have to do now is come in and change the angle values. So instead of 45, it'd be 135. And same with this value right here. Those are the lines. So earlier we created text that was on a path. And now we'll create curved text that is not on a path. Just go ahead and plot a point for this real quick. And this is the result of my 5 minutes of Latin study to come up with some cool words for this demo. And so what I'm doing is I'm just changing bold, Roman, set this back to bold. Keep this down here. And instead of, like I said, because it's not on a path, but we want it curved, there's this little button right here, which is Create Warped Text. So currently the warp style is set to none. These are all the different shapes that the warp can happen or conform to. So there's arc, arc lower, arc upper, arch, bulge. And I think for this I'll go with arch. Now one thing that, right now they've got this arch on the horizontal, but it doesn't have to remain on the horizontal. If I set this to vertical, it now curves in that way, which doesn't do much for text that runs horizontal, but I could, you know, if I wanted to, I could set my text to vertical, and I did that simply right up here. This little button right there. Change the text orientation. I'll switch it back to horizontal for now. I'll turn it down. There are horizontal distortions, vertical distortions, giving you that uber cool feel of 3D. And then I turned on this small caps. Give it a little bit more of a impressive look. Alright, so now that I have this text created, it's really way too small. So I'll hit Control T and I'll just scale it up. Turn snap off. So we've got my hackneyed Latin, meaning Lowengraf's Island, and now just create the little fleur-de-lis, which is right here. Hold down Shift to maintain aspect ratio. And this, I will add a gradient effect, or gradient overlay, just like the others. But I'll do it down the middle. And to switch sides, instead of an angle of 0, I could set it to 180, and now it's on the other side. And I'll just hit OK. Go ahead and clean this scene up a little bit. Just got our 2 lines. I'm going to clean this scene up for the rest of this, so you're welcome to fast forward to the next chapter. Line right. Or if you're interested in scene organization, stick around. Line left. Take these 2. Lions. Take this, the actual text for a nomine Lohengraph, and keep it with the banner. And this is the fleur de lis. Hope that's spelled right. And I will group these two together. Lower text. So I've got lions, lower text, and shield and banner. I can take all three of these and call this mural. And this completes the chapter.